I have created an art monster and she makes me furious, but it's my own doing and it's actually a really beautiful gift. So let me tell you about it. I have an art monster. I have a 6-year-old daughter, and from a very early age, we have made art a part of her life and art making a part of her life. She has a corner of my studio. You have probably seen it if you've done the studio vlogs. You can kind of see it right now. This is her little corner. We call it our studio. It's really cute until I want any sort of level of control in this space. But that's the thing. So we have created this world where she is free to make at almost any given time. Even when she's locked out of my studio and I'm doing work or I'm doing sessions with clients, she has an art closet. We call it the craft closet. Craft closet? Art closet? What do we call it? We call it something that is actually our hallway linen closet that we have just turned into our homeschool and art closet, art supply closet for her. And so she has paint, she has watercolor, she has acrylic, she has pencils, markers, like all of the things that you could think of. She has tape, glue, scissors, like all of the materials are available for her all of the time. Paper, coloring books, stickers, like just tons and tons of art making and craft supplies. And if you live with children, you have experienced this. And I think I knew this in my brain before I lived with a child, but not like really, and definitely not as a parent, like until I was a parent. And this became true and becomes more and more true as she gets older. But I've created an art monster. So there are some parents that like maybe project and steer kids towards sports. And there's like the cheerleading moms, and there's like the dance moms, and there's like all that, right? I am like the artist mom. So she also goes to an open studio like 3 hours every day, 2 hours every day. And that's like her like social time. And then like her other people speak into her life and her skills time. And then, so her life is like really built around art. So we've created an art monster. This kid creates all of the time. She's creating all of the time. She's just, this morning, I was reading a book to her. She's drawing while we're reading. This afternoon, before she went to open studio, she's in her studio corner. What was she doing? She was watercoloring. She's making markers. She's rubbing her hand. I'm like, it's quiet time in my office. I'm like working away on my computer. She's rubbing her hand on one of her oil pastels on the wall. And she's like, Mom, you need to put more fixative on this. She is an art monster. There is paint on my walls. There is paint on my dining room table. There is paint. Well, there was marker last week, thankfully washable marker on the marble table in my living room. There's paint on my floor right now. Not from me, from her. There are crafts everywhere, a whole wall. If you do a call with me, if you're a client, you do calls with me, you have seen her little nook. We display her work and it's all over. She comes home from open studio with ceramics and hand builds and sculptures and drawings and all kinds of things all of the time. The art just erupts out of her. She's an art monster. And on my best days, I admire it and I love it and I handle it with gusto and I scan all of her work to make books of her work, all of her life so far. And on my worst days, I am frustrated as hell. I am so mad. I am so activated. And it makes me nuts. I've got even all of my work surfaces because she just expands, like you can give kids containers, but like they just seep into everything. And so I see all of these remnants of her creativity and her freedom to create, right? All of the time. And on my best days, I'm like, oh my God, I created just what I want. I created this monster. It's so beautiful. It's just like pouring out of her. She's going to have some great messages around art and just like her freedom to create. And on my worst days, I am, wait for it, because the word that I think it is frustrated. the way that it comes out is that I'm frustrated. I need her to put her materials back where they go. I need her to respect our studio. She's also kind of a terrible studio mate. Like if you've shared studios with people before, like you've had good ones, you've had bad ones, I'm sure. But like she's kind of a bad one because she's 6 and she like doesn't pick up after herself, and it's something we're working on. But like, and she steals my materials. Like she takes my photo tape for like wrapping table legs, like installs. She uses painter's tape for like sculptures. Like, not the best studio meet, but like I want her to be able to do that, you know? I want her to be able to do that. But it comes out in frustration. She steals my supplies. I have to buy more supplies. I don't have something where I need it. I have to go track something down when I need it. All of these things, right? All of these things that I can get frustrated about, that I can get angry about. I can dream about having a studio outside of the house. I can dream about like, you know, maybe even kicking her out. But there's a reason that I keep her here in the studio with me. And, you know, when I allow myself to get through that anger and see what's really underneath, is I'm jealous. I'm envious. She has a freedom to create that I don't have. I have all of these adult restrictions of like the art school conditioning of like, what is it? What is it going to be? Is it accessible? What does it represent? What's the concept? Is it a worthwhile concept? Is the concept coming through the work? What does that material bring to that concept? Does it contradict that concept? Does everything work in harmony and unison? Like, da, 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 da. I have all of this stuff, right? And she just creates to create. She just creates because she wants to. She just creates because it's fun. She just creates to see if she can represent what she's seeing and thinking in paper, stickers, you know? She even like something that I got growing up is like this meaning and association with colors she doesn't have. She uses black freely. She uses brown freely. She uses pink freely. She uses blue freely. She uses orange. She uses like whatever colors she wants to use. She's free. I envy that. I want that. I want that freedom to just be like, what's in my art closet today? What am I drawn to? This is what I want to do. Oh, mom's going to make me put a smock on for that. Okay, cool. We're good. Let's go. Right? Like, she's very free and I envy it. And it's also by design. And it was our intention, my partner and I's intention, that we have all of this supplies available to her, that she does an open studio rather than like lessons at 6, you know, that she is not getting all of this conditioning around what is good art, what is bad art, what are good colors, what are bad colors, we intentionally created this space and this ecosystem that makes her free to make. She's not restricted, really, besides acrylic paints. She's really not restricted on what she can and cannot do. And that's another art monster thing. Oh my gosh. When I pull out all the acrylic paints for her and she paints her body instead of a paper or a surface, and then I go into the bathroom a few minutes later, hours later, and there's paint all over the sink, acrylic paint all over the sink and all over the faucet knobs and the faucet and the soap dispenser. That's my art monster. That's when I'm frustrated. But I have to pivot and I have to remember that 1, I made this. 2, I made this with intention. I wanted it. There's something really true in it. And actually, my activation around it has nothing to do with her and everything to do with my jealousy or my envy. And so if I can really pivot from the frustration of having to clean up after her to I want to pursue the freedom that she has around making. I want to be an art monster. Then I can more joyfully, or at least less frustratingly, clean up the sink, clean up the materials, and then maybe move into my own creation. So you may not have an art monster at home. You may not have a tiny person to look at and get to just like absolutely admire their freedom and creativity. Or maybe you have an older tiny person that has done the lessons and has done all of the trainings and has gotten all of the inputs around how to create and how to be. And maybe you haven't curated a space for just an art monster to exist. Maybe that's not possible for you. But maybe you have experienced that friend getting that gallery show, or that friend getting that EP out, or that friend or that family member that really pushes your buttons and you actually hate their work. And then you get really angry at all the opportunities they get because of their work. Maybe that's saying something more about you and how you feel than about them and their work. And if we can get soft and go to the question under, like, anger is always a signal, but there's always a different feeling. Usually shame, sadness, grief is usually under anger. And if we can get to those things and listen to those things, then we can listen to ourselves. We can hear what we're really talking about. So, like, my daughter's an art monster. It pisses me off sometimes, and I get angry and I get protective of my things. And I can stay in that anger, or I can ask what's under the anger. I can find that it's actually jealousy and envy. And I can move through that grief of, like, okay, my life doesn't look like I'm an art monster right now, and I want it to. So, what can I do this week, today, whatever the timeline is? What can I do? How can I get in action to entertain that little art monster that's in me? So, where is your jealousy and envy being pushed on? And what small action steps can you get into? Where can you move towards? What supplies can you buy? What can you do to start moving towards the realization or actualization of the thing that jealousy and envy is pointing towards? So that's all I have for you today. Keep making. Thanks for being here.